Pickaxe.
Happy holidays, cast and crew! Can't get enough of the chaos of Campaign 2 or the spooky vibes of Nocturne? Join our Patreon, and for a limited time, get 50% off your first month and unlock exclusive bonus content, behind-the-scenes shenanigans, and more. 50% off your first month on our Patreon just for the holiday season. Your support truly keeps the dice rolling, so don't wait. Patreon.com/castparty. We'll see you in the Discord. Come hang out. Patreon.com/castparty. Happy holidays, cast and crew.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Cast Party. My name is Colin McManus, and I will be your director for today. I am joined by Ryan McManus.
Hi, Ryan McManus playing Bjorg Jorgensen, the Jewel of Debauchery.
Anna Brisbane.
Lenore DeVere, Chaos very excited to push all the buttons.
Nigel Deacon.
Hiya, I'm Nigel, playing Jackal Campman, the leopard loner striving for companionship and control.
Vince Perino.
Hi, Vince, playing Tevin Alkin, the big baby robot.
Raquel Skellington.
Hi, everybody. I'm Raquel, and I play Poppy, the tender-hearted giant.
And Luis Carrazzo.
Hey, everybody, I'm Luis. I am playing Santos, the anxiety-driven, glaive-wielding Glavinator.
Let us all talk about what happened last time. You all were split into two groups, both inside and outside Darian's estate. Poppy, Jack, and Lenore spent some time making some drinks at the bar cart, rattling it quite loudly before finding a secret compartment with an iron key. Santos, Bjorg, and Tevin helped Chef Paprika get some vanilla bean pods for the tapioca pudding, before the device from Clove started to vibrate in Bjorg's pocket. You all rushed inside as you watched 4 city guard show up at the gate to Darian's compound. Entering in, you all rushed upstairs where Jack and Santos were met with Lorian peering out the window towards these guards. Santos was quick enough in initiative to calm Lorian down, convince him that he was caught up in something worse than what he may think, and that Santos would keep his name out of everything if he just got rid of the guards outside. Lorian did so, then continued drinking wine and reading his book, while you all ventured into Darian's bedroom, unlocking it with the key Jackal grabbed from the bar cart in the parlor. You explored his room, one side filled with paintings from Darla, a fox statue, a vanity, a sewing machine, and a desk, mostly everything covered in a thin layer of dust. Darian's side of the room also had paintings, though not nearly as well crafted, as well as an in-progress painting of Darla at her vanity, holding the iridescent feather. On his desk were many half-finished poems, as well as a framed one called Dear Darla, that Santos read to the group. As Bjorg and Poppy left the room to go gossip, Lenore found she could remove the eyes from the golden fox statue in the corner, and took them downstairs, where there was a similar stone fox. Putting the eyes into the statue revealed a small passageway that led to the secret door with the imprint for the gem. The ring Bjorg made fit perfectly, and you descended the stairs, entering into a dark room. This room was filled with storage, a table that had a bunch of mechanisms and contraptions, and the wine bottles from your excursion to the farmhouse, as well as there were some cages at the far end of the room. In the corner were some empty cages piled up. Just next to them are more cages covered in tarps. They are again hard to tell in the darkness if they are similarly piled up high or if they are larger cages themselves. Poppy saw movement coming from the leftmost cage, just at the bottom corner. Now, Poppy, you continue watching the cage, and you do not see any more movement coming from this small piece of cage peeking out beneath the dirty white sheet that has been laid atop it. And so the scene is set. The question is, what will you do next?
Poppy looks at the cage and approaches very slowly. She tries to sniff the air and see if she can she's not unfamiliar with animals from farms and stuff like that. So I want her to sniff the air and see if she can identify any particular smell or anything that would remind her of farm or animal, a type of animal.
Roll me perception, please.
Oh my god, nat one.
Yeesh.
You do have dark vision. Does not mean that it isn't still hard to see down here. You're seeing in grayscale. It's a little bit dusty down here too, so it's not just the darkness that's clouding your eyes, and you're just smelling almost the dust itself.
Okay, I think she's just gonna go up to the cage, peel back the curtain.
You have to pass by some of these other cages. You see some tools on the ground. It looks like whoever was working at this table was pretty messy. There's wrenches and clamps. You have to kick them aside as you go over, and you flip open that cloth. You do see, indeed, it is a stack of a bunch of cages on top of each other. Each have live chickens in them. One seems to be awake while the others sleep. The bottom one that you just saw the movement looks at you, and you just hear a soft...
Chickens?
Chickens?
Darian's storing chickens in his basement. There's a perfectly good garden outside.
I don't know why these chickens are down here, because they're certainly not down here for food.
I'm gonna point at the wine on the table. Maybe that has something to do with it.
Is that the wine we brought?
Yeah.
I hear Lenore's voice coming from the corner, but I don't see anything.
Can I use my radiant sunbolt, but like not throw it? Like, can I just like light it up in my hand?
Pretty harsh glow, probably not quite fluorescent, but it's pretty orange and it's pretty bright.
How about now? Can you see now?
Well, I can see. I just can't see Lenore.
Oh.
But I hear the voice coming from that corner.
Oh yeah, I was pointing at the wine bottles.
Oh.
I want to examine these wine bottles and see if I can remember if they're more empty than they were when we got them.
As you go over, they do not look like they have been uncorked yet. While you're at the table, I'll ask you to roll me investigation, however.
Oh, not 20
Ooh.
plus 2.
Party!
One thing you quickly realize is that there is a Stormbringer's backpack that does not have any electricity in it. It does look like it's almost been modified slightly. You can see it's not exactly the same. Most of it is like a bronzish color, and you can see that iron pieces have been added to the end. You also realize that there is a music box that has been taken apart. Someone has been tinkering with the actual metal piece that tells the music box what to play. And right next to it, you realize there's a note from, it looks like this is all written in Darian's handwriting.
What's it say?
It has a name of a person that came from the refugee camp. Darian made a deal to get him into the city for information on the harmonic core from Sono Spring. There's notes here talking about how Sono Spring, which is a settlement, you would assume, uses sound waves that help to cancel out the resonant hum, keep the resonance away. And these notes are right next to the music box. You assume Darian is trying to replicate this somehow.
It seems crazy to think that a music box could be powerful enough to cancel that sort of thing out. What else?
The entire table here is based around things that get rid of resonance. You see notes on the crystalline conductors from the blessed city of Kamur. They use these naturally occurring crystals to prevent resonance from entering the town. And you see that there are small crystals here. Looks like shards that are right on this page that he's been looking at. There's an alchemical device and alchemist supplies, and it looks like something's been distilled here. And there's notes from the village of Squall's End. They basically burn bundles of sage and other herbs to keep low-hanging walls of smoke around the village before nighttime. And it looks like he's trying to make the smoke distillation himself. Finally, you find some notes of resonant corruption. It's a list of 2 individuals. One is a younger male, and this is like anatomical descriptions. This man was kept here. He was resonantly corrupted. Darian was keeping track of his resonance and what his symptoms were. He didn't get worse over time. Darian attributed that to the fact that he was not exposed to any other residents while down here. He also has notes on his experiments not working. In fact, he killed him when blasting him with lightning from the Stormbringer backpack. The final sentence he has here is a note to himself to be careful with his last test subject.
They killed a guy. Just testing on him. Who was this guy?
Probably made him disappear.
We need to take these notes.
That's messed up. I'm pocketing all of it. And the wine bottles. I want to examine these chickens.
Yes, do we free the chickens? I feel like they're going to be experimented on if we leave them down here.
It honestly feels wrong having them left in here under poor conditions.
Party chicken, that's all I'm saying.
Wait. Before we release them, let's see if there's any notes on any experiments that he's conducted on these chickens.
That's a good call. Thank you, Santos.
Yeah.
Lenore, you did not find anything on the table about chickens whatsoever.
I'm going to go over and just take off all of the cloths to the cages.
Poppy threw open the one on the left. You're starting with the one on the right. You see right next to you, to your right, is another door leading further into the basement.
Oh.
Pulling the cover off the right cage. Bjorg, as you do so, you feel a sense of cold. Now that it is a little bit brighter here, you see a light blue color like translucent ice. The color cuts through what little darkness is left here, as you see the colors coming from skin on top of a bearded man. His long, frozen, and cracked arms reach right to you. Everyone roll initiative.
Oh,
God.
shit.
What? I thought he was dead.
Oh shit, there were two subjects.
There was a second one.
Does anyone yell when this happens?
I do.
If there's an Arctic man reaching for Bjorg, yes.
I squealed.
Let's go. All right.
What'd you get?
28.
God damn.
Oh, you stole mine from yesterday. I got a 12.
I also got a nat 20, but I have nothing on top of that, so.
Dang. 16.
5.
5.
Wow.
Oh.
Bjorg, this being grabs at you. Technically, this is a surprise round, but Jack is alert. And now this is a question for Santos.
Uh-oh.
When you redid your character sheet for 2024, did you change the alert feat to the new one or did you keep the old one?
Kept the old one. I still have alert.
You also get to go on this surprise round. So Jack, it is your turn.
Let's go.
Get him off, get him off, get him off.
I heard the yell. That was the thing that I said I would go down the stairs for. I sprint down, getting to the bottom step right next to where Tevin is and see this thing reaching out for Bjorg. The instinct is to shoot it. Jumping down, firing a short bow arrow at it to distract it. We've got only a 13 to hit.
That hits.
Let's go. 7 plus another 3. So 10 damage because of sneak attack, because there's someone right next to him. All right, I'm going to use my remaining 5 to run down to it. And then I'm going to bonus action dash to get that last 5 feet. And I'm just going to kind of like shoulder check the cage. Not mechanically, but more for flavor. Like I'm shoulder checking it to try and get it to not look at Bjorg. Hey, pay attention to me.
I don't know if we want to kill him. He's a test subject.
He's not giving you the same respect.
Bjorg, that would be your turn, but you are surprised this round. And we are to its turn. Bjorg is trying to use its frost grip on you. 24 to hit.
Good God, yes.
9 cold damage as it grabs you and it holds onto your shoulders. And you feel this cold continuing to come from it, and it does not let go. You are grappled. And I need you to roll me a d6, please.
I would also like to use my reaction after this. That's a 1.
What's your reaction?
As I feel the icy cold chill as I'm backed up against this door and it's just pulling me towards the cage. From inside the suit jacket, the jacket just starts to light up red and get hotter and hotter. And I'm going to use my reaction to cast Hellish Rebuke. Can it make a dex save, please?
Crit. So it's going to pass.
It's still going to take half of 17, so 8.
Which is then doubled to 16.
Woo!
As you watch this fire really start to burn through this thing's hands Poppy, you're right behind Bjorg. You can see one of the pinkies just completely melts off this hand as it is trying to hold on for dear life to Bjorg.
Ah!
Don't touch the suit!
And then we are to Santos.
I can fly up to that top of the table. I jump up and my wings unfurl and they give just one big flap. And that just allows me to almost float up onto the table. I draw my glaive and I'm striking this creature. I'm going to great weapon attack. That would be a 3 to hit.
That is not going to do it. This isn't how Santos normally wields a weapon, because right now he's in a cage. The only way you could really do it is try to poke him through the holes. You really try to, and you're not quite able to reach in there, but you are shoving so hard that you make connection with the cage, and you even feel a piece break off, and you watch it go into this being. I believe, Santos, your glaive, what can it do?
Is a graze weapon. I'm a weapon master with the glaive and I can graze my opponent. So even if I miss a creature, I deal damage to that creature equal to the ability modifier that I use to make the attack roll. So this would be a 3 points of damage on you.
For your 3 strength.
You know what I'm going to do too, since things seem a little dire. Okay, I'm going to action surge and I'm going to attack again. And I am going to great weapon master this attack. That is better. I'm going to precision attack this one. So right now it's sitting at a 10. I'm going to expend a superiority die and use a precision attack maneuver. And that is a total of 13 to hit.
That hits.
You will be taking 20 points of damage. The glaive is still in there. It grazes him, but then I get this like burst of adrenaline and I just pivot that just enough to actually pierce this ice creature's skin or whatever it is. And they just kind of dig into it a little bit more and then pull my glaive back out.
You hear the cracking of ice and you get a sharp part of your glaive pretty deep into this thing's arm as it is holding on to Bjorg. And as you pull it out, you see a little bit of melting, and inside there's dark red, almost purple blue blood coming out. That is everyone for our surprise rounds. We're back to the top with Jack. And then Bjorg, you are on deck.
After it's been hit a few times, does it look like it's trying to hit Bjorg, like do damage? It's not holding back at all. It's not showing remorse or anything like that.
You are so close that you see the wrinkle in Bjorg's jacket as this thing is just using as much grip strength as it can to hold onto him. And you can even see the steam coming off of it, like a cold steam battling against the heat from his jacket. And this thing is just trying to hold on to Bjorg.
What I'm going to try and do is I'm taking out my hoopback. I want to try and angle it so that I'm going in between its arms to like try and get its neck to like hit it backwards. Mechanically, I'm swinging at it with basically a thrust, but I'm using the non-sharp end, the flat side of the hook, to kind of like push it back or like break through this, because I can't swing straight down through the where its arms are or anything like that. So I'm just trying to get it away from Bjorg. Because of my weapon mastery with the short bow, I have advantage on my next attack roll against this creature.
Ooh.
And it's an 18.
Very much hits.
5 plus, again, sneak attack, another 5. That's another 10 damage that I'm just doing like straight at its neck.
Make purchase at least with the main portion of this being's body. A really good hit, and you hear a crack that goes down. You even see it goes all the way down and onto its thigh.
Get off, you cold bitch.
Bjorg, we are to you. At the start of your turn, I need a Constitution saving throw.
Don't say those things. 12.
That's going to fail. You're taking 5 cold damage.
Just going to be swiping at his hands and trying to grasp at his that are grabbed onto me, but they're just so fucking cold. Yes, what he said, get off! Abandon that, reach into the suit jacket pocket, and take out a small hexagonal device. Just throw it in the air. This is one of my Eldritch Cannons. This is Shelly. Stalwart hexagon exerts life force lovingly. Yay. That is going to be my action. I'm going to utilize my bonus action to activate Shelly as it is up in the air, it just begins to vibrate immensely, and then 4 little legs come out, and it exerts this pulse. Everyone within 10 feet of me, 1, 2, 3, 4, there'll be everyone but Lenore and Tevin, is going to be granted 9 temp HP, including myself. I'm just going to end my turn and sit here and hope my friends get me out of this kerfuffle.
That is this being's turn. You are already being grappled, so this being does not need to make an attack roll. It just does damage again. Wow, you're getting cold, and wow, it's holding on to the same place, Bjorg, as the cold gets harsher. 13 cold damage. And I need you to roll me a d6, please.
6.
You feel so chilly from this being. It squeezes onto you. And Shelly, where's Shelly right now? Is it on top of the cage, just looking in? Where did Shelly end up?
He's grabbing me, I would have just thrown it up, so probably landed near Jackal's feet or on top of the very tippy-top cage, just balancing on the bars.
We'll say it's bouncing on the bars as this cage is shaking as this being is holding you in place, getting colder and colder. You start to feel the burning sensation go away a moment as your body almost feels like it's repelling this. Shelly helped a lot, and then as this damage started to come in, your own body's doing the same. Bjorg, you now have the resolve trait. This PC gains temporary HP equal to their proficiency bonus upon completion of a short or long rest. This is a permanent feature that you may add to your character sheet as you please.
Whoa, what the fuck?
Wait, permanent?
From the guy?
I've been resonated!
We are again to Santos with Poppy on deck.
Oh my gosh. Okay. As I go and bring my glaive back to try to skewer this thing again, I will call out to Bjorg, is it going to do what it did again? Because we are aware of the temporary hit points that we've been granted by the pulse of it.
Oh, yeah.
Is it going to do that again?
It's gonna do it as long as I'm alive!
Okay. And with that, I'm going to attack. How are you looking, Bjorg? Do you look pretty roughed up?
The tone of my skin is turning a little blue, shivering, but I'm steadfast for now.
Okay. All right. I'm attacking. Great weapon attack. That's a 19 to hit without a superiority die. That is going to be 20 points of damage again.
You are able to shatter off its right arm. You see the arm that's currently holding on to Bjorg completely shatters at the elbow. It falls to the ground. You again are starting to see blood, and it starts to pool on the ground, and you almost actually see the skin instantly start melting. The ice starts to melt, for this appendage that's no longer there, and you can see Bjorg's jacket almost clinging to his skin where the arm was, but he's still being held on the other side with one hand.
Does pain register on this creature's face?
No.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's my turn. I'm going to hold where I am.
Poppy, we are to you. You've just watched this being's arm get shattered at the elbow.
I'm going to attack because I am right next to Bjorg. I shove with my unarmed strike. I can push it 5 feet away or cause it to be prone if I land it. 16?
That hits. Are you trying to push it away from Bjorg, or are you trying to knock it to the ground?
I'm going to push it away from Bjorg, and then I'm going to use a bonus action to do a Fury of Blows.
As you push it away from Bjorg, there's not enough room in this cage for it to actually move 5 feet, but what you do is you shove it to the other side of the cage. During this time, it's holding onto Bjorg with one hand. Bjorg, we're gonna roll for the grapple. This being has one arm, is rolling with disadvantage. You can roll athletics or acrobatics to see if it lets go.
Don't be a weak little bitch.
That's what I'm known for. 16!
I got a 10.
Hey!
Good job, puppy.
You feel that this being has a really good hold on you, but that jacket still burning just a little bit. You even feel that new resolve inside of you continuing to make that hellish Bjorg keep making that heat. and the ice is melting, and then it's a little bit slick because there's water between it and your jacket. And as it gets pushed by Poppy, the hand no longer can hold you and it hits the back of the cage. And then Poppy, you can do your flurry of blows.
11.
11 hits.
Ooh.
Yes. Okay, rolling for damage. Oh, 9.
Let's go.
This being is cracking and cracking.
She pushes it off and like straight up uppercuts and, it's right side hooks the shit out of that thing.
It's definitely weird. You push it away, bounces off the back, and you're just trying to make sure you can get your arm into the cage properly, but you do make contact. You can feel instantly, just touching it, your hand is like really cold. It doesn't actually do damage, but it almost seems to like burn on impact. Lenore, we are to you, and then Tevin, you're on deck.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
I want to fly over top of Bjorg and try to open the door here.
To the other room. From quick look inside, you see storage room. It's filled with some statues and some furniture that looks like it's covered in old sheets. Very cramped.
From where I am in this same spot as Bjorg, I have 10 more feet of movement. Can I pull him into the room with me? I just want to grab his coat and drag him down with me into the room.
She's invisible though.
I am invisible.
You're getting pulled by an unseen force.
The door opens and I just fall into the room.
Yeah, I just want to bonk.
That means we are to Tevin. Tevin, you are still in the doorway. You watch all of this go down. You see this being stuck in the cage, now trying to frantically get its left arm up and out. Goes for Jackal and then can't quite get a reach, and then goes for Santos and Poppy. It's just trying to do anything it can with its one arm to grab onto some being.
Just back away from it.
It doesn't seem like that it can come out, right?
No, it is very much stuck, but the cage is being broken.
I want to move to the north side of everybody, to the left of the room, just 5 feet away from the creature, like where it got hit up to the other side where Poppy hit him to. I want to go down on my knees and sit back almost like how I do when I go into my sentry mode. Just lean forward a little bit and give it a good look over. See if there's anything I could recognize on it or be able to tell if I've seen anything like him before.
I'm going to have you roll me nature.
It's another goddamn 2.
This being is humanoid. It kind of looks like these other guys, but really cold.
Still leaning forward, just a little bit of a head tilt towards him. Hello, my name is Tevin. And who might you be?
This being looks over at you, pulls the arm out of one hole in this cage and starts grasping towards you. What's left of this being's jaw, you can see what looks to be like a very old, crusty beard on this older man. Zombie-esque noises as this being reaches for you, and you can feel the shivering cold coming towards you.
I'm just going to stay out of arm's reach of this thing. I just would like to prepare an action. If it does grab anybody, or if I see it break out of this cage, I would like to swipe at it as you see my arm start to change into that sword.
As we go to Jack.
How rough does it look?
Very. If this being was a frozen lake, you wouldn't want to step on it.
I am gonna try and do the same thing that I did before, except I want to try and grab its arm and pull it forward as I thrust with the hoopak blunt end again. I rolled a 7. That was a 2, so joining the 2 club.
Oh no.
I tried to grab the arm and pull it forward, and I just straight up fumbled it. It hit me enough for me to be like, oh no, and I goofed it up, and I just missed. The hoopback went in, missed completely. It brushed my chest in a weird way, and I got kind of discouraged. Seeing that it's now like no one is in immediate danger, I'm gonna bonus action disengage and step out into that room, but like kind of be in the doorway.
And we are to Bjorg as you step over him who has fallen to the ground. Bjorg, you're able to get yourself up if you so choose.
We're going to start with on top of the cage, Shelly is just shaking, and then you feel that pulse. And there's just a ring of warmth that goes throughout the room. Everyone who had temp HP before, yours does not change. Tevin and Lenore, you get 6 temp HP. Temp HP does not stack, but you can choose to take the higher of the options. Then, from the floor, dive into the suit jacket pocket, pull out Tough Luck, see what the coils inside the suit did, and we're gonna drop a ruby right down into the 6-shooter, and we are going to cast Bjorg's Burning Bolt as I just scream into the room. Poppy, please cover Santos's ears!
Poppy does.
For a 19 to hit.
Go ahead and roll damage.
4 fire damage.
Bjorg, this being is yours.
Woo! I am fumbling back, feeling Lenore's hands on me, a little worried because there's too many hands on me in a short period of time that I don't know about. Just on one knee, I take a peek into my shirt and just see like the frostbitten handprint stung into my skin. Out of anger, just pull out the gun, yell to Poppy so hopefully Santos doesn't get too worked up, and fire that ruby. It's scorching hot throughout the barrels as it spins and then projects out. Just hits him square in the chest.
It's all of these cracks that all of you guys have formed. They splintered, they scattered like a spiderweb across this being's skin, but they all seem to meet in the chest. Your ruby makes contact right with that as it burns red hot through this being. There is a shattering of ice. This being has some human characteristics still deep inside of it. You see from the abdomen as some of this ice melts from the fire. There's still what look to be like remnants of organs, but most of it has turned an icy blue.
Which one of you did that? Who put that there?
Who put the zombie in the basement? Jack, we just got here. Who would have snuck a zombie in?
Why was it grabbing you? Did you bother it?
Did it come out of your pocket?
No, it didn't come out of my pocket. I was lifting up the sheet. I thought it was more chickens. Gods. Wiping off the ice bits from my suit and I'm peeking in real good at that imprinted burning handprint on my collarbone.
Are you okay?
That looks like it hurts.
I had to go through the suit.
I'm gonna pull Bjorg up if he's not already standing. Look, are you all right? Are you good for the rest of this?
Yes, yeah, we're good. As long as I have Shelly. Where'd that little scamp go off to anyway?
You see Skelly on the next cage over trying to lift up the cloth to see.
Do not open the cage!
I'm going to step away from Poppy. Poppy's hands were over my ears, and I kind of see it coming, and in the moment where the gunshot rang through the room, I kind of leaned into it, put my hands over Poppy's hands, and closed my eyes really tight, but now in the aftermath of that, stepping away, giving Poppy's hand like one kind of squeeze, and you can see the gratitude in Santo's eyes as he starts to move towards the pile of ice and whatever other remnants. I'm just going to call out into the room. Can anybody tell if this thing was alive when it became this, or if it was dead first, then became this?
Was it not alive just a moment ago?
I wouldn't call that alive.
It seemed to be moving and making noise. How is that not living?
Well, not all things that move and make noise are necessarily alive, Tevin.
Don't see how.
That is actually a little concerning for you to say. I don't know if I've seen anything that's not alive, but moving like that.
Well, I wasn't sure if the things that we encountered at the farm were alive.
Did we not take time to find out if it truly was or not? It seemed to be encased in this, and it could not come out, correct? Just like these? And I'll point towards the chickens.
There's a good chance those chickens won't attack you. And this thing, from what I could tell, came out swinging. I guess technically I drew the first shot, but it was already reaching for Bjorg.
What if he just thought it was Darian and he's just trying to get free?
I think that's a lot to try to process in just a couple seconds. All I saw was that it was trying to kill Bjorg. And I'm not going to take the time to figure out if something's trying to be friends while it's trying to kill someone that I'm consider a friend. That's any of you.
I appreciate that. I didn't see fear on its face. I didn't see pain. Unlike you, Tevin, I don't think it had emotions left, which is concerning. If the notes ring true, then Darian has been testing on subjects for quite some time. He killed the first one. What's to say he didn't kill the second, and this is just the reincarnated corpse? Basically resonance at this point.
I feel as if we may have rushed into a situation when we could have done more with this.
Well, let's see if we can learn from our mistake. I'm gonna look at Tevin while I say that. Can you help me take a look at this, Tevin?
You see Tevin starting to focus more on the area where it was as you're saying that.
As you go over there, Tevin, and you're looking at the cages, you just feel 4 little claws, little clinky claws, start crawling up your leg. And Shelly is just now resting upon your shoulder. It's a little hexagon. Looks like the little walking monuments from Elden Ring.
I'm just so focused on all the viscera on the ground and the cages around. I don't even notice.
Did we make a lot of noise while we were down here?
I would assume so.
With a gunshot, yes.
I'll be back. And I'm just gonna head back up the stairs, back to where I was. I think I will stay up there for another few minutes until someone calls me down or I hear another sound.
The viscera. I think with my glaive, I'm gonna carefully move it around. I just want to see if there's organs that are intact still.
Roll me nature.
I am not trained in nature, just FYI. What? D&D Beyond, you just did a terrible thing. It landed on 16, and then that light lit, the light of the number lit up, and then it moved it to the 8 that was off to the side.
Lame.
It went 16, 8. So
Rigged.
8 total.
This is the best way I can describe it. It's what's left of a body after it's been like autopsied. There's bones, but they're so brittle, they're ice, and you're watching them actively melt.
Here's a weird question. Is there any similarities between the chickens and any of the body parts?
Ooh, good question.
No, the chickens look like normal chickens.
Anyway, I found a room full of, like, I don't know, statues and, I don't know, it's dark.
Okay.
And I walk into the new room.
As I follow, I just kind of stay on Tevin for a little bit. Hey, buddy, I think we put it out of its misery. I appreciate you showing compassion towards it. It's really commendable. I think what happened here is Darian is doing some stuff that's not good to do. This thing, at least, has found peace.
I think I feel more confusion than anything at the moment. Seeing it in this cage by itself, it seemed like it was no harm to anyone.
You're right. Tevin, your brother,
Yeah.
he doesn't keep you in a cage, does he?
No, of course not. I'm here with you. When I'm home, I'm allowed to go into my room, and his room, and the rest of the house.
Good. You want to come with me and see what's in the other room?
Still gonna focus a lot on that cage, and after a minute, just stand up and walk behind you.
Yeah, and you come upon the others, save for Jack, who's waiting upstairs, listening in. You open up into the next room, which is pretty tight. It's only about 10 foot wide, and there's a lot of pretty large objects in this room. Primarily covered up furniture, all covered in tarps and sheets. Some are easily distinguishable, like couches and chairs. Others might be tables, small storage containers. They're all wrapped up. The other primary things in this room are all statues. Directly ahead of you, Santos, right as you enter that door, right across from it is a statue of Darian.
Oh,
It is him standing tall, his helmet by his side, as he's known to do to keep his hair clean and his hair flowing down his head. He's in a suit of Nightshade officer armor, and it's obviously this armor that you've seen is mostly for decoration rather than for functional compared to what you would even be wearing. There are also some other statues around, another about the same size. this life size of Darian, though it has a helmet on. It's hard to see its face. There's a statue of a raven in flight. It is placed on a small table, but almost looks like the statue is meant to be perched on the corner of a balcony or a roof like a gargoyle. You also see some other statues of animals as well, a frog, a turtle, a lion, even dragon in this corner. And you see at the other end of this room, you'd have to push your way through some of the furniture to get to the other side. You see another doorway.
I want to try to take the helmet off the other statue.
You can. The statue with the helmet on, the statue itself is a different piece than the helmet. It's also made of stone. It's not a different helmet. It's made of stone. Looks to be like placed on. As you lift it off, you see it almost slides like it's on a track. And as you pull it upwards, you see the face of the statue. The rest of the statue, again, is entirely stone, but the face looks to be made of a mirrored surface. It reflects nothing right now because you're invisible. Watching the mirror, you see the others around.
It's got a mirror in it. Who wants to look in it?
Wait, it has a mirror as its face?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it's so like Darian can envision himself. It's like a statue where you would place your armor or clothing.
He's got this one right here.
Well, yes, but then if it's so you can swap out the armor so you could envision yourself as the thing wearing the armor.
Sure.
I'll try it.
Invisible Lenore is holding the helmet up for you. You get closer and you see your face in the mirror. As you look at it, you see your face getting closer and closer, yet you aren't moving closer until there's the sound of shattering glass.
Oh!
The mirror itself disappears and the face of the statue now replaced with your features, and it shoves its head almost forward towards you. I need a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh, Bjorg. No. You're putting too many mirrors in front of a man who enjoys himself. That's a 4.
You are frightened. You do not have to run away. I do need to hear you scream real loud in this basement.
Oh, God.
Holy fucking shits!
I am running down the stairs now.
Jack, running up and down. You're getting your steps in at least.
Jack, you rush back in. You see Bjorg. What are you doing, Bjorg? Did you just jump backwards? What's up?
It is full Scooby-Doo Shaggy jumping into Santos's arms.
I don't know what to do with that. I just kind of freeze.
What are you doing?
I am the statue.
We're still doing a heist.
I didn't know I would be the person inside the armor.
I look around at like the rest of the room, so confused.
There's another me. I'm so sorry.
It must have been a trap. I'm sorry, just to scare me or something. I don't know. I'm sorry. Darian is going to be so pissed if he comes down and sees a statue of me. You might want to put the helmet back
He's
on.
not gonna check it. Yeah, we just put the helmet back down.
Sorry for the alarm. I think we can just continue through the basement. It's statues. It's Darian and statues.
A little while after Bjorg jumped in my arms and I gently set you down, Bjorg, I'm going to take some time to begin ritual casting.
What are you ritual casting?
Detect magic.
I'll be right back. I'm going to run back upstairs, head over towards where the front door of the house is. Are there any like ornamental vases anywhere?
Yeah.
Great. I'm going to put one right in front of the door, leaned against it, so that when the door opens, it tips over and will hopefully shatter.
Smart,
Just
smart.
it's a rudimentary alarm spell that I'll hopefully hear from the basement.
Roll me survival.
16?
You're pretty happy with it.
I'll run back downstairs, start hopping around the room with Lenore just to see what's what.
Touch all the things. Push all the buttons.
Santos, our 10 minutes are up for you to cast Detect Magic. You see plenty of magic things in the other room that Lenore pointed out. You see their magical signatures. Definitely these crystals are magic. The being itself, what's left of it, does not seem to be exuding any magic. In this room, definitely the statue that now looks like Bjorg was transmutation magic. There's also a little bit of illusion magic connected in with that. You do realize that there's another door at the edge of this room. And as you get closer to it, you see in this other room 3 different large chunks of magic. And they look strikingly similar to how Tevin looks right now, though they do not have the voids that Tevin does. Not only are they over there, they are kneeling on the ground, facing the door, just like Tevin does.
Lenore's right next to me, and I don't know. I can't see you.
No.
I don't know if Lenore's there.
Actually, you would see the invisibility magic.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Now you see an outline of her.
Lenore, is that you? Lenore?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna sort of lean in towards that outline. Listen, I'm detecting magic right now, and there's stuff on the other side in that room that I have the same magical signature as Tevin, and they look like they will probably do us a good bit of harm if we go through this door. Another thing, and I will kind of look back at Tevin. Tevin, where is your attention right now?
Still just staring at that statue of Bjorg. My arm is still in that sword form, and I'm just kind of tapping it all over, just like really examining it.
This is weirdly threatening, Tevin.
I'll look over at Tevin, continue saying to Lenore the magic that's moving through Tevin, it's similar to veins, except that there's pockets of void in Tevin. I don't know what that means.
He's empty?
No, there's just parts of him that I don't know. There's just pockets of void. I don't know how else to make sense out of it, but I don't know if I should be worried about it. But what I do think we should be worried about is that there's 3 Tevins, maybe, on the other side of this door. It looks like they might be ready to fire on whatever walks through this door. But they can't see you.
So you want me to sneak in while you guys wait over here?
That's your decision. But if you do decide, I'm going to reach out and touch the outline. Oh, crap. I go to reach out to touch the outline, and then I realize I only have enough brain space for one of these things. I don't know if I can help you. I'm gonna keep this detecting magic around here. I think I need to keep that up.
I can do this.
Poppy walks forward after hearing Santos. Don't worry. I think I know how you want to help. And Poppy casts guidance.
Ooh.
Yay!
Just be smart in there.
Always.
Be very sneaky.
Always. I'm going in. Everyone stay quiet.
Lenore entering in through the door, you see what is very clearly a training room. Right inside the door, you can see weapon racks on both sides filled with weaponry and armor. To your right, you see a small desk filled with paperwork. You see a training dummy at the other end, as well as an archery target. It is pretty dark in here, so you are having a little bit of trouble seeing, but there is a candle on the desk that is currently lit. So there is actually a little bit of light here.
It's lit. Boo!
We haven't gotten to do that all campaign.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, for real.
I hate it here.
At the end, you see the dummy, you see the archery target, but in front of these, you see 3 humanoid shapes, each on their knees, facing the door you just entered in from. And you see 3 sets of eyes light up in the darkness, as you can see these 3 very large metallic humanoids standing up and brandishing their weapons. You quickly realize they are not looking at you. However, as you move away from the door, they are staring at the door itself. And they look very much like Tevin, though each looks distinct from the others. One brandishes a hand axe, another spins out a gun from its forearm, just like Tevin's. And the third holds a monocle up to its left eye. which changes the eye's glowing color.
Can I think to Bjorg?
Bjorg, there's 3 Tevins in here, and they're all armed, and they all just stood up and they're ready to attack the door, but they haven't seen me.
I'll huddle those left in this statue room. Lenore says that there's 3 of Tevins, and they're all armed, and it's like they're ready to strike whenever something comes in the door.
What do you mean there's 3 of me in there? I am just one Tevin.
There's 3 electronic beings that resemble you. Not brother.
They're not other brothers of me.
No, I hope not. At least not right now from the information that Lenore has given.
Is Lenore okay?
Lenore's okay.
Tevin, you know how Bjorg and I, you know how we look similar.
I lean in and smile.
And you are not related.
No, we're not. And not at all.
Why'd you say it like that?
What do you mean, man? I didn't say it like that.
He does in fact look much older than you.
Yes, I agree. But that's I think what he's saying is that's what he means by Tevins. And I'll do the little quotation, air quotes.
Do you think Lenore can get out of there safely? Or do you think we're gonna have to go in there and engage first, I guess?
I think Lenore is going to get out of there safely. In fact, Jack, I also think that 2 of us should go and keep a lookout behind us. Maybe you and Tevin can watch our backs. And if we need any help, which I don't think we will, we'll definitely call out for that.
I would very much like to examine these Tevins you speak of. So I think I will stay here.
I reach up to my ear.
Lenore, are you gonna be safe?
Of course. I'm just gonna look around and pick stuff up and come back.
She's going in, and she's gonna pick things up and then come back. I can ask any more questions if you would like for clarification. But right now, she's safe, they cannot see her, and their eyes are peeled to the door.
Maybe we don't go in?
Has she tried to communicate with any of them yet?
Not yet. They seem to be ready to attack Tevin. And we're a little bit afraid that Lenore might have to face that.
Say they see another one of them, being me.
Tevin, we're not in a friendly place right now. We can't assume anyone in here is our friend.
If I look like them, would they not think I am another one of them?
Actually, that is kind of a good point.
I could go in and help them.
If we need someone to run in for backup, I feel like you'll probably be our best bet, just on the off chance that they consider you an ally.
I actually agree.
They could quite possibly be an actual ally as well.
But what if they're not, Tevin? What if they attack you? What will you do?
I will do what must be done. Maybe there is a part of me in them.
Oh, Tevin.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I don't like this.
I'm going to put a hand on Tevin. I understand what's going on with you right now. And even if it was just a couple moments ago, I want you to know that I'm taking very seriously what you said about what we encountered in that cage. And I think you're right. And I also think that you just be safe. And I'm going to activate Emboldening Bond on Tevin and myself. Just try to stay calm, Tevin. We're relying on you to stay calm.
I am quite calm. I am just worried.
And I'll turn to Bjork. Any more from Lenore?
What's going on in there, kid? Over.
I want to look at this desk. If I can read anything by candlelight, I will. But if I can't, I'll just throw it all in a bag.
You see on the nearby desk, you find Darian's notes and plans, but these are all more about Nightshade things.
Boring nightshade things or exciting nightshade things?
You do quickly see the name Sir Rexius Altmer, the leader of the Black Axe.
Yes.
You find right next to it a blueprint of the Nightshade prison. It looks like a bunch of branching pathways, and it truly looks like a maze just from what you can see. You find a bunch of information about Rexius's capture, even some internal Nightshade documents about the capture and Rexius himself, many of which look confidential. In another file, you find a map. It looks to be a rubbing of a much larger map. It's Twin Rivers and the surrounding locations, and it's got a bunch of marks on it. Red circles in different areas, both outside the city and one small one directly in Twin Rivers with a question mark in it. Another one just outside, bit of a bigger circle, out in the woods with an X in it. And then further away, you find larger circles. Sometimes they're concentric, multiple circles inside of one another, getting wider and wider. You're quickly able to deduce that these are likely the location of fallen meteorites from Ilos's explosion. The one that landed in Twin Rivers, they don't know where it is. The one that landed just outside the city, they have. You brought it to them. Finally, you find paperwork between Darian and one Desmond Alkin. Darian purchased 3 metallic security humanoids from Desmond. These ones all experimental. During their correspondence, you can see that Darian thanked Desmond for helping him provide top-of-the-line fighters for Thorn, and that he's excited to receive his own to spar with. And you all remember that Thorn is the captain of the city guard and chair of justice of Twin Rivers.
I want to put all of that in my bag, my invisible bag, so I assume then it becomes invisible.
I am going to ask you for stealth with advantage.
Yep.
Poppy's guidance.
Oh yeah, you have my guidance.
Okay. 14.
Fail on their part.
Oh my god.
And they're all using active perception. They just were not able to see the papers moving off of the desk into the invisible bag.
And I see this second door.
You do see a second door in this room leading further into the basement, as well as you see a lot of weaponry, even a chest underneath a table nearby, and a adventurer's bag on top of the table.
A chest?
Oh, hi, Bjorg. I found all the stuff we needed about prison and documents of him purchasing these Tevins from Tevin's brother. And also there's a door, and I want to keep going, but do I keep going by myself?
One moment, I'm gonna put you on a brief hold.
When I say that, the earring that you got starts repeating a 6-second loop of a tune from my magical tinkering.
Wait, ring, hello, I'm sorry. Should I tell Tevin that his brother gave?
Maybe not till later.
Noted, I'll be with you shortly.
Wrap everyone around. So, Lenore found documents about the prison. The ones we needed for Rexius. The Black Axe leader who was wrongfully, well, quote-unquote wrongfully imprisoned.
Okay, that's good. That's one thing down.
There's other things regarding the beings inside that room, and she wants to keep going. There's another door that leads further in. She just wanted to know what to do. Do we let her keep going and be away from them, keeping her potentially more safe, though more distant to us? Or do we find a way to go and join?
I would very much like to inquire as much information on the other beings.
Oh, yes. She has paperwork that she is going to share when she returns.
If there is more information she can get, currently, that would be very, very good.
That might be through the door. We just don't know what to expect. Do I send her further, or do I tell her to hold?
I don't like the idea of her going off alone. That seems like unnecessary risk, especially if there's 2 doors and 3 things between us and her. What if we need to get in there? What if she runs into something worse?
And maybe we can find a way to communicate with these. Who knows, maybe they could help us.
While they're having that discussion, I'm going to check this chest.
I'm going to ask for another stealth check with advantage.
Are you kidding me?
Anna, please.
13.
You hear a very familiar sound of the barrels of a gun turning.
Oh.
As a shot rings out towards you, Lenore. This will be with a disadvantage. It can't actively see you. 15 to hit.
It's 16 with mage armor.
The bullet blasts just past you and collides with the top of this chest. The rest of you hear the gunshot ring out through this basement. I need everyone to roll initiative.
Oh, crap.
15.
13. It's almost
Yeah.
as low as I can go. The lowest I can have is 11.
Damn.
I got
Yeah.
a 12.
13 for Santos, but Jackal is faster.
I only got an 8.
10.
This is a lose-lose situation because regardless, Tevin runs in and fucking dies and gets shot at by his brothers. Or we go in, he misses everything, but then we kill his brothers. It's an emotional wreck regardless.
Yes.
Stop calling them his brothers when we're his brothers, okay?
2 combats in one session. Oh my god. I love combat.
First in initiative is Tevin.
Whoa!
I'm running towards the door. I'm bursting through. Brothers, what is the commotion?
What color are your eyes, Tevin?
The one active eye is red.
They all have a similar red glow to them, besides this other being that's holding up the monocle that is currently like a blue showing through. And it slowly turns to yellow and then back to red. The being with the axe brandishes it, looks towards you. Its movements are very slow, but stiff.
My arm is still in that sword form. I don't want to hold it up to show as if I'm coming in as a hostile, but it is going to stay in that form. I want to prepare an action if they come towards me, then I will try to strike at the closest one to me, but as of right now, I am just holding off. I want to try to talk to them. Master has hired some workers to do some maintenance down here. Please, I need you all to stand down.
I'll have your old deception with disadvantage.
2, but I would like to use my tactical mind ability.
Nice. And you do get to add a d4 because you are bonded once per turn.
Okay.
Tactical mind, you'll get a D10 and add it to what you currently have.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, you get a d10 and a d4.
2, and then a d4. So that's an extra 6, 9 altogether. Terrible.
You continue to fail this check, so you do not lose your use of second wind for your tactical mind. Jack, where do you?
Okay. 0 hesitation. I am sprinting into the room. As I'm running, you guys see the muscles flex a little bit. The shirt gets a little tighter. Just to make sure it's clear, when I rage, it's not the same as what happened in the field. So I'm not growing to 6 feet like I did back then. I'm just visibly like flexing and showing that I've got the muscles out. But I am now actively raging, and I'm just tackling this first one with the hoop back out.
The one with the axe is closest to the door, and you may make your attack roll.
14.
14 misses.
No, I can't do anything else. I'm in front of the first guy, and I have floundered miserably.
Santos, we are to you with Poppy on deck.
Oh boy. I am going to start to move in. As I'm moving in, Tevin's in front of me on the other side of the door, and Poppy's behind me. I just turned to look at you, Poppy. You could just see this like concerned look on my face. I'm going to cast Bless. This like radiant energy just bursts out of me, and it is going to dance around Poppy, Tevin, and Jack. Bless will counter the emboldening bond is not concentration, but detect magic goes away. I get into position right here in this corner, right past Tevin, and that's my turn.
I'm gonna try and stealth it and step of the wind and acrobatic up to the ceiling and like try and crawl or like grasp beams and go across to the back.
With Step the Wind, does it specifically increase jump or anything like that?
Yes, it does. It says, focus Step of the Wind. You can expend 1 focus point to take both the disengage and dash actions as a bonus action, and your jump distance is doubled for the turn. So I will have to spend a focus.
I'm going to have you roll me acrobatics as you do so, and I'm going to have you do it with advantage.
Okay, so I got 22 and a 7. I'm going to take the 22.
It is very graceful. You are able to use Tevin as a step-off point so you can get up and into the rafters, low crawl between them, get to the other side wherever you'd like to be.
Yeah, I'm going to be putting myself in between monocle and gunshot over here. But I want to stay up and kind of stealthed. So I'm going to... Do I get a bonus for an unarmed strike attack going like from stealth?
I'm going to say that these beings are actively focused on what's happening in front of them since you rolled so well on your acrobatics. So you'll get advantage on your first attack.
Okay, so I'm gonna like both elbows, boom, go for a gunshot robot over here. So I got a 19 and a 8. I'm gonna take the 19.
19 hits.
6.
Come down, hit its arm that it's currently holding up that just blasted at the chest. Lenore, this is your turn, and then Bjork's on deck.
I'm invisible. Oh well. I'm gonna dig into my pocket and grab this currently invisible handful of colorful powder and just throw it in front of me and cast color spray. And so when I become uninvisible, the colorful powder also just kind of explodes in bright light. 15-foot cone. I want the 2 guys closest to me to make Constitution saving throws.
The axe one passes. The monocle fails with a 10.
Yeah, he's blinded.
Ooh.
And I'm visible.
And you cast a spell.
Oh, I did cast a spell.
You're going to have to roll a D100, please.
84.
I need you to roll me a D6, please.
6.
This would have been so much better a little bit later. You regain 1d6 spent spell slots, starting with the lowest ones. Feels good to be seen again and show your true colors, and you feel a little bit of magical strength here as you are out of invisibility.
But I'm still disguised. And then I'm gonna take 1 step to the left, just so that I'm a little bit further away from Tevin and Santos, and a little further into the room.
We are to Bjork.
Bjork sees everyone rush through the door and just goes shit, and is looking through his fingers trying to figure out which ring it is. And he pulls off a circular gem. It's rose gold, because rose gold stands for health, stability, and confidence. And I want you all to have the confidence to kill Tevin's brothers.
Oh, God.
Damn.
God.
I take the little bead and I underhand bowl it into the room until it hits the back wall and it bounces back slightly and it's going to explode into this powder. This is Bjork's blushing bomb, aka fairy fire. It was going to hit all 3 robots and just Poppy, but because Lenore decided to scoot up a little bit, a 20-foot cube is going to hit Lenore and Poppy. I just need dex saves.
Rude.
Poppy, you have bless, so you can add a D4 to that.
And you're so dexterous.
6.
Fail.
Crap.
21.
21. Pass. What did the Robies get?
Axe failed, monocle passed, gun failed.
Ooh.
Okay.
If you're blind, do you have disadvantage
Oh,
on dexterity saving throws?
I think you do. Monocle was the one who passed and failed with the second, so they're all fairy fired.
Let's go.
Wow, nice job.
The little bead explodes into this rose gold powder that just expands throughout the room. Poppy, being high enough, dashes out of the way. All of the others are covered in this rose gold powder, and every attack that is made upon these creatures has advantage.
I don't see anything under blinded that talks about saving throws, so maybe not.
I already did it, so.
If we could cut it out.
To these robots, they are security, but they are not fast. So we're starting with the gun arm. Poppy, you can see it's got a gun very similar to Tevin's, but you see it has a small pouch on its side, and you see it pull out a new bullet, add it to the gun as it spins it and aims its arm directly past you towards Tevin. That's only a 9 to hit you, Tevin. Tevin, this bullet is really laser fast, and it misses you and bursts through the wall behind you, and you can hear a small explosion. This is not a normal bullet. Axe wielder's turn. Looking at Jack right in front of him. Jack made the attack. Unable to make purchase, but will he? Yes, he will. That's a 23 to hit you, Jack.
For sure.
7 slashing damage.
You see a glaive appear out of nowhere and tries to knock it out of its trajectory. So I'm activating my interception fighting style to reduce the damage. So this is my reaction. You will reduce that by A total of 7.
Let's go.
Whoa!
0 damage. Just knock it out of the way.
Completely knock it out of the way as it comes back around for its second swing. Just not gonna hit.
Thanks, big guy.
The person with the monocle is still blinded. All of its spells are visual spells, so it is bumbling around. It cannot take an action this turn unless there's an action to try to reduce the blinded, or is that just as long as it is?
It's till the end of my next turn.
Okay, that's its turn. We're back to the top with Tevin. Oh, I'm so sorry, Tevin. Even though this being did not move much closer to you, it did actively move towards Jackal and take a swing. I'm going to say you can use your hailed action from last turn.
With advantage, baby.
Because he's glowing. He's very fired.
I'm done. I'm done rolling today.
You get an extra D4. You have emboldening bond.
Okay, all right. That might actually help.
And bless, right?
Oh my god.
Yeah, and that stacks. So you get to add 2 D4.
18 altogether. Okay.
That's enough.
You have this like swirling energy moving around you with the combination of blessed and emboldening bond. Although it's like an umbilical cord of light that's between us, there's still this kind of like it's like a tiny whirlwind of sparks of moonlight dancing around you, and it kind of swirls around your weapon as you attack as well.
1 on the die, so 4 altogether.
4 damage. And we're back to you at the top of the order, Tevin.
And then I get advantage again, right?
Yeah, plus 2 D4.
21 to hit.
Hits as well.
I'm just going to move 5 feet forward, jutting between Santos and Jackal to get closer to the one with the hand axe. And as I move right between the two of them, I'm just going to jut my arm straight up like an uppercut, trying to stab him right under the chin. 7 piercing damage.
As you're watching this, Tevin, you're still curious as to these beings. They are not reacting to pain like you do.
I'm going to action surge. And as I do, I just want to change my arm to my pistol. As that hit releases, it's going to switch to the gun, and I'm going to aim it right down towards the other Warforged with the pistol that shot at me. And I will just take a shot right at him.
You also have advantage.
12. Extra 2, so 14.
That does hit the one with the gun arm.
Ooh. Oh, sweet. Okay. 6 piercing damage.
Jackal, we're to you. Santos on deck.
After failing and flailing right in front of this guy with the axe before, I'm continuing to be pissed, raging, if you will. It still has the effects of the fairy fire, so I have no reason to attack recklessly. I can see it so good in this dark room. I'm going to roll this with advantage.
You are blessed.
Thank God. So the total of 15.
That hits.
I am coming in with a wide swing with the spear to try and like hook it in what would be ribs if it was a human. So it's a 1d6 plus 2, and whatever rage does, plus 2. Great. 7 from that, plus sneak attack, another 6. So 13 damage from this swing.
Big crack of the chassis of the central portion of this axe wielder.
And then I'm going to use that hit as momentum. So I'm going to bonus action disengage and get right up in the face of Gunslinger.
And that gets us to Santos with Poppy on deck.
Okay, so Jack has moved forward. I'm going to move through Tevin and Lenore. So moving forward 5, 10, 15 feet, I have the axe wielder adjacent to me, and I have the gunslinger 10 feet away from me. I'm going to attack the axe wielder. I'm going to great weapon master this attack at advantage. Oh, I don't know if that's going to cut it. That's a 10. I'm going to precision attack this. So superiority dice, precision attack, D8. That is a 17 to hit.
That hits.
Amazing. I'm going to add another maneuver. I'm going to menacing attack him. He's going to take, so far that is 17 points of damage plus a D8, 19 points of damage, and he has a frightened condition. Oh, he has to do a wisdom saving throw.
With 19 points of damage, Santos, your glaive right to left swing goes right through the chest of the axe wielder, and you watch as the monocled being, blinded, trying to move about, try to find someone, you connect with it. So you've taken out the axe wielder and done the adjacent extra damage to the monocle wielder. For fun, I'm going to have the monocle wielder do that frightened.
Oh, amazing.
That's a pass. That's a 21. We haven't done this in a long while. Reminder, we're doing cleave damage. So if you kill something, any extra damage goes to something else within range.
That's so cool. I love cleave.
We are to Poppy. The axe wielder has been taken out. The gunslinger in the corner is surrounded, and the monocle boy is blinded and leaking oil from its chest from its glaive wound.
I'm going to use my unarmed strike on our gunslinging robot. She's actually going to go for the shoulder to try and disengage the arm that's holding the gun. She's going to try and rip that damn arm off.
Go ahead and roll me to hit, and you have advantage.
Wow.
And I have advantage. Okay, I got a 25 on my first and a nat 1. So I'm going to take the 25.
Yeah, we love the advantage on it. Yeah, go ahead and roll me damage.
All right, it is bludgeoning 8.
You rip off something from inside this thing's arm, and you start to hear a nasty hissing.
Okay, I'm going to spend a focus point. I'm going to unarmed strike again. I'm going to use my flurry of blows. 22 on the first, 23 on the second. I'm going to take 23.
You don't even need the bless.
And my bludgeoning damage, I got a 9.
You are able to completely rip the gun arm off as this being falls to the ground.
Colin. As a great weapon master, when I reduce an enemy to 0 hit points, I can use a bonus action to have another attack. Is it too late to implement that?
You watching, almost inspired, as Poppy rips this being's arm off, falls to the ground. You see the red lights in its eyes go out. You hear a dim as you are inspired to take another attack.
The glaive is like going through the air towards the one remaining automaton. There is definitely a mental note that I'm taking as I strike the one remaining enemy. Poppy doesn't need me to bless her. She doesn't need my help. And I'm going to attack. It's at advantage. I'm going to great weapon master this attack. That is an 18 to hit.
That hits.
Oh man, max damage, 23 points of damage.
Whoa!
God, chill.
Santos, it's yours.
A couple things happened in the, I don't know however many seconds. There was a loud gunshot. Santos absolutely flinched. The one thing, though, that is burned in his mind was Tevin's engagement of these creatures that look just like him. And seeing Tevin not hesitate to protect the group and neutralize the threat, something moves through Santos as sort of the Glavinator in action. I think this time also watching Poppy take down that other one, seeing, I think for the first time, making this recognition that this team is working well. I'll move forward and strike right into the center mass of this automaton, where when I looked at Tevin, there was void. I'm piercing where that would have been in this automaton and driving it all the way through. Like a tin can, the metal just folds in on itself and tears and shreds.
You hear the sound, just as you described, thin metal breaking apart. And we are again out of initiative.
Santos, when you turn around, you just see Tevin on the ground immediately starting to tear apart this one that had the hand axe on him.
Oh, that's kind of shocking. Santos just stands there and watches.
What are you doing? Tevin.
Searching for anything that we might need, possibly memories. I don't know. I'm just looking ravagely, just tearing it apart more and more.
I don't think you can find a memory.
We don't know for sure unless we check everything.
I'm going to approach Tevin and kind of get down right next to him. The emboldening bond is still active, and there's this light that's dancing between the bless is still active. You're kind of covered in this sort of illuminating moonlight. Put a hand on your shoulder and say to you, hey buddy, remember we're supposed to be calm, right?
I am calm. I am just trying to hurry. I know we don't have much time. If you all could help me by looking through the other ones.
What are you searching for? Memories?
Yes. What else would I find in them?
I don't think that's what you're going to find in them, Tevin. I don't think that's how this works.
We don't know for sure, do we? There could be something in there. They look much like me.
Okay. I'll kind of look at the others, do a head nod towards the door if they're going to go through the other door, and I'll just say, I got this if you want to look for other stuff. And I'm just going to sit right next to Tevin, and I'm going to take my time with him looking for memories that I believe are not going to be there.
I want to try to go through all of them.
I'm going to have you roll me investigation.
Since I'm with him, does that give him the help action?
You're actively trying to assist him in finding these memories. I will say yes.
Yeah, good, because I rolled a nat 1.
Oh my god.
Nat 20.
Ooh. You're continuing one by one through these beings. You're seeing things that look like you in many cases. They're familiar to you, but just because that's what you see every day when you look at your own body. You also recognize, as you move to the final one with the gun, this is exactly like your gun. As you're looking throughout, you also recognize that there is a small symbol on the underside of the barrel that you've never noticed before. 2 interlocking circles inside of a triangle. And as you look at it, you open your own gun and you see that same symbol is underneath. You also find a small pouch, and I'm gonna have you roll me 2d6, please.
6 and 6. Wow.
Makes sense. This is being only got 1 or 2 shots off. Tevin, you find a bunch of specialty ammo that seems to fit your gun. 6 that look to be red casings, and 6 that look to have a little bit of a bluish glow to them. These are flamethrower rounds and force ballista rounds.
Whoa. After seeing that new symbol, does anything else come to me?
Your brother has used this symbol before. There's a carving on a piece of wood on the side of the main workshop.
Do you see this? Santos, please look at this. These are the same. This is me.
No, Tevin, this isn't you. This isn't you.
Santos, this is in my home. Brother has made this, and nothing is coming to me. And you see he tears the head off of this robot and he starts slamming it into the ground, and he chucks it over Lenore's head. Nothing is coming.
Not yet. Calm down, calm down. Doesn't come back like this. This isn't you. You're not going to get your memories back from something else. They're going to come to you. Something's going to remind you of something.
That is what these were supposed to do, were they not?
No, they were supposed to hurt us, and you stopped them from doing that.
But they are all from me.
Your memories aren't gonna be about these guys. Your memories are gonna be about people. Flesh.
If these are the only connections to me, why do no memories come? Does that mean there are no others out there for me, and I have everything that I could get?
Not from metal. You're looking for memories from before metal. So looking into metal, I don't think is gonna help.
Metal is all I know.
Except for your memories.
Tevin's gonna stand up and turn towards you, Lenore. And you see both of his arms just go down to his side. And he does a little bow to you. I'm so sorry. I don't know what came over me.
It's okay. It's a lot. We weren't expecting to find this here.
I don't know what these thoughts in my head are.
Anger?
You should hold on to that. You can use that because we're probably gonna see more of these. They look exactly like you, and your brother runs a mechanic shop or something. He's probably made these all over the city. You cannot hesitate when we're at risk, Tevin.
I will not hesitate to protect you all. That I can promise.
Because this is another messed up situation that we're kind of just getting caught up in. This was supposed to be just a quick little smash and grab, and now we're fighting robots in basements. We've made so much noise that probably half the town knows that we're here. We're one step closer to where we need to be, but we still aren't done. Can we get this over with, please?
Yeah, we gotta be fast.
I'll give a little bow to Jackal as well and point my arm towards the door.
I'm also grabbing... I want to look in the adventure bag. I want to grab the stuff in the chest.
You find this smooth stone on a chain. You see it's got a very nice impression into it. Your hand's a little bit small, but it looks like it would fit perfectly a thumb of a larger humanoid right into it, just to rub into. Focusing on it, you could use a bonus action to gain a sense of calm and sturdiness. For a minute after activating, you can reduce each incoming source of damage by 3 points. This can make an attack do 0 damage, but obviously can't heal.
Here, Tevin, rub this with your thumb. See if it makes you feel better.
I think I am getting better, but if you think this is good for me, I'll take it and start to rub it a little bit.
Also in this box is a seashell. You can hear the ocean in it. This is the healing seashell. It's got 3 charges per long rest. You can use in action to give 1d4 plus your intelligence healing to a creature who can hear you. This ability can only target 1 creature per action, but multiple charges can be spent using 1 action. Or for 3 charges, you can expel it all at once in touch range to do 15 healing to 1 creature. This was created by Evie over on Patreon.
Love it. Oh, it's sick.
Bjork, you find a nice revolver over in this little area you're standing in, and you see it's got a little attachment underneath it, and it's a switchblade.
Unscrew, unscrew, unscrew.
You're playing around with the mechanism quickly. You're like, wow, this would fit perfectly onto Tough Luck. With just a flick, the blade comes from beneath, rises up in front of the barrel. You would be able to shoot the blade along with a firebolt. As you do this, if you cast Firebolt, you can use the blade. It will do an extra d6 of piercing on top of the fire damage. You can use a bonus action to reload it, but you have to retrieve the blade from wherever it lands. This was created by Peach over on Patreon.
That is so sick. Thank you, Peach. Oh my god.
And the adventuring bag?
Roll me 2d20.
31.
You find 31 gold.
We can split this later.
I am still coming down from the rage, but I'm not exiting the rage, and it's kind of visible in my body language, visibly like annoyed with waiting, with how long this has taken, and I'm just walking towards the door without saying a word.
As you enter into the next room, you find it is quite bright. Hundreds of candles are lit around the room, softly illuminating the carved wooden floors with an orange-red glow. They're placed typically around the outside of the room. They're piled onto boxes on shelves on the floor. A large portion of these candles flank a massive metal door at the end of this room. A few other candles burn brightly in the center of the room on the floor, surrounding an etching of a magic circle in the hardwood. It glows a light bluish gray color and has runes along its outside. It's many thin concentric circles around a central point, like a bullseye, like a target, along with 3 more prominent circles placed around its edges. And these more prominent circles look to have no really rhyme or reason to their location, but sitting inside these circles on top of the floor are objects. One looks to be a medium-sized jar with a liquid that looks like water. The second, an open box filled with clothing. The third, a seat cushion. It looks just like a cushion from one of the Nightshade Caravan coaches. Your eyes are following the flickering of the candles further, and they lay upon a desk. It has shelves piled high with bottles of chemicals, some scrolls, as well as some books. At the top of the desk, the very highest shelf, in a glass cage, is a feather. It almost looks to be moving as the light from the flickering candles bounces off its opalescent form. Just below it, an open book turned to a page showing an image of the Dreamkeeper of Silvrune, as well as a close-up drawing of a similarly iridescent feather. And for today, that's a wrap.
Okay.
I'm having a blast with it. I'm so glad you are. And we're going to talk a lot about it just a little bit on behind the scenes, talk about all the craziness. There's so much to talk about. So patreon.com/castparty to hear that, as well as you could have had your name heard and affected our story by requesting some magic items we put in, just like Peach and Evie did, that our party now has access to. You can do that as well if you become a patron. Thank you all so much for listening. Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Man, I do not want to be here, and sure don't want to be in the basement with the others. This place gives me the creeps. Oh, you know what? I'll just tell myself a story. I'll keep myself calm. Get my mind off things. A New Guy's Treasure, I think that's what it was called. They planned out the whole thing in Anne's hideaway beneath Bass Drops Tavern, and you had to take a secret staircase to get to the basement, kind of like this one, actually. Have a Chop Sack was their sneaky guy, move without a sound. I guess that's me in this situation. Then there was Dubward, who would distract guards with dice and gambling. That's kind of like Bjorg, maybe? Bjorg seems like he'd be betting and losing all his money to Sainty Love, though. Maybe that's why he's homeless? I don't know. I think Eric 5 was the guy with the fancy lamp. It was like a handheld lantern, and he could point at places to light up dark areas. That's kind of like Poppy. She just lights stuff up with her hands instead of the lantern, and then punches people real fast. That's also in the story, actually. Forerunner, he was the muscle, and he was dressed in some nice suit. He had sleeves that could be ripped off in case he had to punch people. I remember Heather accidentally spilled whiskey all over his jacket, and he had to take it off anyway. Maybe I should get tearaway sleeves. I wonder if Isui could make me some. Might be cheaper than stitching back these old things over and over. Jesky Fire just charges so much to fix them, and I always poke myself with a needle when I'm doing it myself. Or maybe I just need to get better at sewing. Jonas, in that story, had sewn a lucky charm into their glove, and that really came in handy. Judgment Day, the villain, was kind of like Darian, like a real shithead. He slashed his big sword, but Jonas was able to catch it in his hand thanks to that lucky charm in his palm. He didn't even get hurt. Maybe Kaylee has some fancy crystals I could sew into my hand wraps, and I could stop bullets coming my way. Actually, on second thought, maybe I should just keep hiding. Like Lexi in the book, she had a cloak that let her blend into dark corners, hiding in plain sight. That would be perfect for something like this. I don't remember how that story ends, or actually even where I got that book. I think they all joined Opti's crime gang and went stealing for good or something. That would be way better than this. And we could do stuff with low stakes. I could get Ryan in on it to run reconnaissance for us. Bubba could find us targets. I think Winkle and I are selling good terms. Maybe she can get us into the Confluence and we can target some real ritzy places. I heard Ebab Flo is going on vacation soon. We could go in and rob them blind. And maybe... Oh, wait, was that Bjorg? Bjorg! Oh, I'm coming, Bjorg!